Hello and welcome to another InventRight TV show. My name is Andrew Krause and I'm one of the co-founders here at InventRight. Our other co-founder, Stephen Key and myself, we've both done videos on what is the first thing to do when you first come up with an idea. However, I thought I'd do a little twist on that and we would talk about today what not to do when you first come up with an idea. If you want to check out those other videos, we'll put them down in the description below on what to do when you first come up with an idea. I would watch them both. It's good information, whether you've been inventing for a while or not. If you haven't gotten out there and licensed your product yet, you need to know this information because you may be making some of these mistakes. So this first one happens for a reason, and having done InventRight for the last 2 decades, I know one of the reasons why. So the first one is do not file even a provisional patent for $75. And definitely don't file a utility patent for $10,000 or $12,000 the second you come up with an idea. That is what not to do when you first come up with an idea, okay? So I know the reason why this happens. So you tell your friends or family about your idea, and when they like it, the very first thing they say, almost all the time, is that's a great idea. You better get a patent on that. So instead of actually doing that, just be flattered. What they really mean is, I think that's a good idea. That's a great idea. And you can feel good that your friends or family member told you that it was a great idea. But their advice is absolutely horrendous. You don't want to do that. To run out and spend all that money and for that to be the first thing is a giant, giant mistake. You need to do your research first, okay? So the biggest thing is do not think that the first thing to do is meet with a patent attorney because it's a great idea, or even file a $75 provisional patent as we guide our students to do. The second you come up with an idea, because you need to do your research first. It makes sense, right? But people get emotional, I understand, and you're new to it, and you're like, oh, I want to protect it because I don't want somebody to steal it. But it's not the first thing to do at all. The other thing that you don't want to do first is make a prototype. You haven't done your research yet. Why would you even start making a prototype? So don't do that either. So now, the other thing that you don't want to do is, it's like a double reverse or whatever. The other thing you don't want to do is not study the marketplace. So what the heck does that mean, study the marketplace? It means to look at other products that are similar to yours or in the same space. So if you had a new kitchen cutting board, you need to look at all the kitchen cutting boards. You're like, Andrew, I couldn't do that. Yeah, you can, and it's very easy. Just one of many tools that we guide our students to use, which is my favorite actually, is Google Images. If you just type in kitchen cutting board on a regular Google, you'll just have pages and click, and it would take freaking forever, okay? So, but if you type it into Google, and usually there's just a button that says images, you're gonna see all these images, and most creative people like you are visuals. So you'll see these products that are on websites where it's sold. You'll see it on a blog. You'll see other kitchen cutting boards that are out there. So what are you looking for? So what you're looking for is what are the benefits? What are the prices? How are they marketing it? And that's what you're looking for. Now, another thing not to do is to have the wrong attitude while you're doing that. And the wrong attitude, which a huge percent of inventors have, is good. Well, first off, a lot of people just don't do the research at all. So that's a huge mistake. I didn't mention that one. They go, I think it's a good idea. I never saw it before, so I'm just going to move forward. Come on. You know that's not the right thing to do. But you're emotional, I get it. But don't do that, okay? So you need to study the marketplace, but you don't want to do it with the wrong attitude. So what's the wrong attitude? Kind of like, my product's really great, and I'm going to prove there's nothing as good as out there. Well, that one sucks, and that one sucks, and that one's no good. Mine's better than that. No, you don't want to do that. If you had a new kitchen cutting board, you're going to go, well, that one has those benefits, and it's a lower price. This one's a higher price. So you're looking at benefits and price points, and you're looking to study the landscape and bookmark all that stuff in your browser. If you use Evernote, use that. Whatever you want to do, but keep track of it when you're doing your research. And then you go, how does my product fit in? And you may change, especially when you just came up with an idea, is the best time to change your product. And if you've been thinking about it for a really long time, you're a little resistive and people are freaked out about doing that research. They're afraid of what they're going to find. But guess what? Any company you approach to license your product to, they know what's in their market. They know what's in that category. Do you really want to file a patent, do a prototype, make marketing piece, reach out to 30 companies, which is what we teach our students to do. And then for them to go, well, how is that anything different than this one here? And the product is exactly the same because you didn't do your research. And you could have like made a tweak and then sent it to them before. So be willing to change. So another thing you don't want to do is not be willing to change it up. The sooner you do your research when you come up with an idea, the more open you are going to be to changing the idea. The longer you talk to your friends and family about it without doing any research, the more it becomes cemented in your brain. This is what it is. This is what it is. And then you're going to suck at doing research, and you're not going to be good at changing it because it's fixed in your brain. You fell in love with it. So now, if you've been thinking about it a while, just know that don't fall in love with it. Be honest with yourself about the research and be willing to change it if necessary based on what you find. Now, the other thing you don't want to do is assume that I need to prove there's nothing like it. Nothing. Now, if there's things that are somewhat like it, it can prove there's a market. You don't have to have this like, I'm so special, my product's so special. There can't be anything that even has one feature that's like it or kind of like it, but mine's a little bit different. You can't have that attitude. You have to be okay with finding similar things, okay? The last thing that you absolutely do not want to do when you first come up with an idea is just start moving forward without knowing where you're going. Are you going to venture it, make it, sell it yourself? Are you going to license it like we guide our students to do and receive royalties, and it's their money and their workforce and their manufacturing? But people will do like some ridiculous things like, oh, well, I need an injection mold. So they go to an injection mold and they spent $20,000 on injection mold. And they go, well, I'm out of money. I don't know what I'm going to do now. It's like, know the path you're going to walk down. We can guide you on the licensing path. If you want to do venturing, you need to find somebody else because we don't do that path, which is making it, selling it yourself. We show you how to license it to a big company and then receive royalties and get them to do the work. So those are a bunch of things what not to do when you first come up with an idea. If you want to look at some more videos about what to do when you first come up with it, go down in the description below and check those out. I hope you enjoyed it. I talked really fast so I could get all that in. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. And watch some more of our videos. I do a lot of question and answers. You can find those in the archives. I think you'll enjoy those as well. And I'll remind everybody to take care, keep inventing, and we'll catch up with you next time. See you guys.
There's a great idea in each of us. But it's truly magical to see it come to life. Sharing your creativity with the world has never been easier. We can help.